Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? It is Thursday, June the 9th. Going to be doing some live trading this morning as requested from the members of the Discord. If you haven't joined, please join. The link is in the description to this video. So we're going to start here looking at SPY. I've gone ahead and marked yesterday's high and yesterday's low. And we are currently opening below this range down here. So for SPY, I am going to start, as long as we hold below the low of yesterday, I'm going to start with an orb once the market opens. Looking at Tesla here. Let's go and mark yesterday's high and low on the daily time frame. Switch back over to the 5, and we are currently opening in the middle of yesterday's range. So this one I am going to wait and see what happens. I anticipate a lot of chop unless we break out of yesterday's range. We briefly broke over it pre-market and then we fell back down, and we have a possible gap back down here. Qqq. We're going to mark yesterday's high and low. Switch to the 5-minute time frame. We are also opening below yesterday's low. So this would be a good setup to play an orb on as well. I had somebody on YouTube ask which time frame I used on an orb. And it's not really that I pick any certain time frame to try and use, guys. It's I let the chart tell me what time frame to use. So I don't use the 1-minute orb strategy, but I do start with the 3-minute. So we'll start with the 3-minute, and we go ahead and make our orb once that candle closes. And then on the next candle, if it doesn't break out of that orb's range once the candle closes, then I will switch to the 5-minute. And if the second 5-minute candle doesn't break out of the 5-minute orb's range, then I'll switch to the 10-minute or the 15-minute, and so on and so forth. But if we haven't had a breakout by about the 15th, out of the 15-minute orb, I typically won't go with using the orb range until you see a nice break of that consolidation. Another one I want to look at for possible downside today. Yesterday, Baba was just an absolute beast. Some call contracts ran in the thousands and thousands of percents. I think I saw one up 10,000%, which is just absolutely insane. So if we mark yesterday's high and low, and we come back over here to the 5, we have a huge range here, and right now we're about in the middle of this range. And at the bottom of this range, we have a huge gap down from about 108 to the 104, 102 area. And it doesn't really look like it, but if you look kind of closely here, we kind of do have a little bit of a head and shoulders formed here. It's an ugly head and shoulders, but there is one that is formed. I'm going to be watching this for a downside play. We are currently in the middle of yesterday's range. So what I would like to watch for personally, is I would like to watch for possibly a push here. A push here up to the 200 MA, and then a price rejection from the 200 MA back down. And we can see VIX is super elevated this morning down here on my subgraph. If I maximize this, we can see VIX is just on a tear this morning. So with VIX being like that, if it continues up, the market should come down. Look at Apple. Mark yesterday's high and low. Switch to the 5. We are currently below yesterday's low as well. This would be a good orb play here. So between Aapl, QQQ, and SPY, probably going to go with SPY or QQQ just for liquidity sake. And these plays, like yesterday, will be in and out. I am going to just scalp. Some plays may take a couple minutes, some may take 15 minutes. But please keep your notifications on in the Discord. I will be calling out the plays live here on YouTube as well as posting them in the Intraday's Plays channel on the Discord. AMD. Mark yesterday's high and low just to see what kind of range we're working in. Keep it simple. And we are currently about, we aren't in the middle, but we're near the bottom of yesterday's range. So that I'm anticipating to see some chop there. Let's look at S&P 500 futures. Currently down at about 40, right under 4,100. Quite a big sell-off. So SPX is going to open at about 41.15. So SPX and ES are basically one in itself, except one is futures that trades all day, and the other only trades during market open, and they typically tend to mimic each other pretty closely. Not exactly, but pretty close. So I anticipate at open we should see a push down. Nvda. Mark yesterday's high and low. And we are currently below yesterday's low. So if these levels hold below yesterday's levels, excuse me, like I said, I'm going to be looking at an orb first thing here. So we got about 9 minutes till the market opens. If anybody has any questions, please post them to Discord or to the chat, and I'd be glad to look at some stuff. So for SPY, here's how we're going to get our levels from the downside. So I've gone over to the daily, and I've marked the high in the low. So I'm going to switch back over here to the 5-minute time frame. And you don't, when you draw a Fibonacci, it doesn't have to be connected to anything. So I've marked my high and low by the, or let me rephrase that. It doesn't need to be connected to a candle, but you do need to base it off some type of level. So we'll base it off yesterday's high and low. So we'll literally draw it from the high to the low, not attached to any candle at all. Let's make sure that it is lined up correctly. 415.82 and 410.38. So that is correct. So the fib itself is literally only drawn from here to here. And then look at this magic. It came down, it hit the 10% extension. It bounced a little bit, or it hit a little bit of resistance, pulled under, then bounced back up. Then it immediately went back down and bounced off the 23.6. The 23.6 is 409.10. What's the low of this candle? 409.09. 1 cent off. So that right there should show you all you need to see on why you should be learning how to use Fibonacci. Focus said Tesla trying to fight yesterday's high for open. So let's go back and look at Tesla here. Let me delete these drawings. So Tesla did break out of its range in pre-market and then pulled back down. Now it's trying to go back up again here. If we do get above yesterday's high and get a nice body of a candle closing above that high, we'll probably be looking to long some calls here. Should be a pretty good play. But Tesla, just like SPX, you have to be really, really quick. I mean, you can let it run all day if you want, if the momentum is there and if there's no really above resistance levels. and you're above your 5 EMA and 8 EMA, I mean, feel free to let it run. But when I see these profits, I'm going to take them. If either you're going to take somebody's lunch money or they're going to take it from you. So when you see profits, take that profit. Take it and run and rinse and repeat and come back and grab some more profit. You don't have to be greedy. If you make $50, $200, $2,000 here and there and you piecemeal it, all that money is going to add up and is going to be a lot bigger than just doing one home run over and over and over. Because if you keep trying to swing for the fence, eventually you're going to get burned and you're going to blow up your whole damn account. I've done it several times. Every trader has done it. If they tell you they haven't, they're lying to you. No trader has started trading and been 100% just God mode from day one. That's not how it works. It's like any job. In your first 6 months, you kind of know a little bit about what's going on, but not a whole lot. After a year, you've learned a little bit more, and you can do some things on your own. Then your second year at this new job, you got a promotion, and you might have moved to a different department or learned how to use some new machinery. And your third and fourth year is when you're starting to move up in the ranks and you really know what's going on and you can basically do the job by yourself. It's the same thing with trading. At first, you're not going to get it. It's just something you're just going to have to keep trying at, and the only way that you're going to get better is screen time. Screen time, trial and error, losing some money, whether it be real or fake. Everybody preaches trading paper money, but I mean, come on, let's be honest. Who the hell really wants to trade paper money? I mean, yeah, it's good to practice, and I'm not going to say don't do it, but if we're being realistic here, nobody listens to anybody that really says that. You're going to get out there, you're going to blow up an account, you're going to lose some money, it's going to happen. I mean, that's just the name of the game. Like I said, either you're taking somebody else's lunch money or they're taking yours. Just remember that. So, for now, we got about 4 minutes to open. I'm going to go use the bathroom real quick, and then we'll be back. All right, we are back just in time. Market is about to open in 5 seconds. And we are open. Like I said, SPX mimics ES there. You can see ES's closing price was around 41.15, now opening down around 4100. ES is slightly under 4100 at 40.97. So SPY is opening below yesterday's low. So we're going to try a 3-minute orb here. So we're going to wait for this first 3-minute candle that's being built to close. Then we are going to draw our orb range, set our high and low, and wait for a breakout of that range. What's Baba doing? Nothing yet. Good morning if you just joined the stream. The market just opened. We are waiting for our first 3-minute candle to close on SPY, and then we are going to try an opening range breakout because we are opening below yesterday's low. So lots of indecision in this first candle so far. We got about 45 seconds before this candle closes. Ten seconds on this candle. And the candle is closed. So we're going to draw an orb from the high to the low of that candle. And then I'm going to go ahead and mark these levels. And we're going to change this bar color to white. So we did break below the orb here. VIX is spiking. I want to wait and see if we do break below, if this next candle does hold below the orb level, or if we wick back up into the orb, just to wait for confirmation. You see how we automatically, if we would have went ahead and entered, we would have gotten faked out because the price broke below right here, and then we wicked right back up into the orb. Now we're going towards the top of the orb. This is why it's always important to wait for confirmation. So now we're breaking out the top side of the orb, and we're probably going to wick right back into it again. Patience. Tesla, we've got our orb here too. So I'm going to switch to the 5-minute time frame here. And this candle closes in 18 seconds. So we're going to adjust our orb now to the 5-minute range. Because if we go back to the 3, we can see that we're wicking right back down. So market net flow over here is kind of all over the place right now. Calls started out on top, then puts came and crossed over calls. Now it looks like the puts are about to go back underneath the calls again. SPX going for a gap fill here. ES spiking. So I've fibbed out the first 5-minute candle here. If we get a pullback on SPY to about the 61.8, 409.50, I may be looking to go in on some calls, but I'm unclear on this yet. There's no other real setup there. We did pull back to the 38.2. Price action is currently above the 5 EMA and the 8 EMA. Yeah, did get my ears lowered. It's looking a little scruffy. So I'm going to set an alert for Tesla right here under about 739. If we break that, we should see a gap back down maybe to 730 area. May look at some puts there. So SPX has given us its 5-minute range. Tesla breaking below. Trying to get a fill on a Tesla 700 put here at 450. But I think we're going to bounce off this 200 MA here. I got filled. See, like I said, bounced right off the 200 MA there. That contract's up about 2%. Let's see. Going to be looking for a quick scalp here and a gap fill back down. So 7% on that contract. 10%. Look, need a push under this 200 MA. We need a push under here. So we're currently up about 10%. Calls just pushed under the puts. Momentum shifted negative. So did the algo. We're up 12% now. So gap closure is about the 430 area. So I'm going to set an alert for right here. We're up 15%. Looks to be defending this 200 MA here. I should have went ahead and locked profit. I didn't. We have puts going up, calls going down here. Wow, SPY had a big old rejection there. Pulled back to the 78.6 on the money. We are currently up about 13%. Tesla moves really, really fast. We're looking for a flush down under this 200 MA. We're looking for it to lose support here. So I currently have a sell set for 550, which would be $100 profit on this one contract. We're pushing lower, pushing lower. Looking for a full gap closure down here to about the 729. Come on, give us the full gap closure here, Tessie. So we're currently up 15%. %. 540. Come on, give me 10 more cents. We hit 540 there on that contract. Still trying to defend this 200 MA here. I should have went ahead and locked profit there. Now we look to be bouncing off this 200. I'm holding tight though as our market net flow, our puts are steadily increasing here and calls are rather flat. Looking at the bot. Calls are coming down as well as puts for Tesla. Should have really locked profit there. If you guys are happy with profit, please don't wait for me to tell you to sell when a trade goes green. Take that money, like I was saying earlier. If someone's either going to take your lunch money or you're going to take theirs. That's how this works. So we'll probably get a pullback here to the 8 EMA or the 5 EMA, this green line. And then hopefully we should push back down. If price action closes, look at that, exactly like I called it. Pulled up to the 8 EMA and then wicked back down. The 8 EMA is acting as resistance. So, how's everything else looking? SPY, looking to come out of the 5-minute orb here. SPX looking to come out of the 5-minute orb. And we're back green on this contract. Like I said, I have a limit sell order in for $550, trying to lock in $100 profit on this one contract. I may adjust my limit sell here. I don't really like how this 200 MA is just holding us up, but we are currently building a bear flag as well. So, flagpole. There's your bear flag. If patterns hold true and it follows how it's supposed to break down, we should see a move to the downside. But patterns don't always hold true. You need to remember that. SPX, want to see how this candle closes here. Keeping that on watch. Market net flow over here. Our puts are drastically increasing here. Our momentum did slow a little bit, but our algo is still in the negatives here. Calls are rather flat. On Tesla, that 8 EMA is still acting as resistance for now. SPX moving right back into the orb. SPY as well. So this is an example of what I was talking about earlier with the orbs. So this yellow box here is drawn as my 15-minute or my 5-minute orb, marking the high and the low. And then we never actually broke out of that 5-minute range because the next candle just wicked right back in. The body of the candle never closed below. So Tesla, I'm not liking this here. Down about 20% now. Probably I'm gonna give the contract a little bit of wiggle room here, and my stop loss is going to be above the high of day. So if we break above the high of day, I am going to stop out. Choppy price action here across the board, though. We really haven't moved anywhere. Had a nice push up, push right back down, push back up on SPX. Everything is just range bound right now. AMD is the only one that's kind of out of the orb right now. Let's see if it holds that level. Possibly a double top here forming on Tesla, depending on how this candle closes, but no, it's pushing higher. Over high of day, I'm stopping out, like I said. Contract is currently down about 30%. We were up 18, didn't lock profit. Greed got the best of me on that one. I'm going to go ahead and cut Tesla here. This is a good lesson here on why you shouldn't wait for me to tell you to lock some profits. So SPX, I'd like to see a pullback, because above 41.30 we could see a nice move up to about 41.50. So I'd like to see a little pullback here to about where we opened. But looking at the market net flow, we got some serious choppiness going on here and a bunch of indecision. So going to be patient on this next play. Like to see a pullback on AMD to the 5 EMA. Here's our little pullback on SPX. I'd like a pullback to this area right here, to where our 5 EMA and 8 EMA is, looking for a bounce play. Tesla really pulled a full-on U here. Went exactly back to high of day and then pulled back. SPX, you gonna give me this pullback? What are futures doing? Futures are kind of doing the same thing, trying to break over this 200 MA. Looking for a pullback on SPX to right in this level. And I am going to look at the 4150 calls if we get a pullback to there. I missed AMD here. But you see how the price action pulled back directly to the 5 EMA, then bounced off that level. So right now on the market net flow over here, we have calls slowly going up and puts slowly going up. When both of them go up like that, it tends to lead to choppy price action. Tesla making a big move above yesterday's high. Let's see how this candle closes, and if we can hold above this level. If the body of the candle can hold above this level, we'll then be looking at some calls on Tesla. We could have played it both ways down here. We should have locked in profits at 18% here on these puts off this 200 MA. And then once we rejected and went back up, we should have gotten into calls there. Still looking for a pullback on SPX. So that candle just closed on Tesla. So if we go to the hourly, we have a gap up situation here. I'm going to go with Tesla 780 calls. And we are immediately pulling back. If you're not in that, I wouldn't chase because I'm already down 13%. I would wait to see how this next candle closes. But that did look like a good entry for me because the body of the candle did close above yesterday's high, and we were above the 5 and the 8 EMA there. So but like I said, looking at this chart, if I take out the extended hours here, we do have this big gap up zone here. It was from here to here. So this potentially could be a nice big move here. So I am holding tight to see if we hold this level. There is the pullback on SPX. I'm going long, trying to go long. On SPX 4150, calls expiring today at 350. And I am filled there. So pull back to the 5 EMA. We have a nice little pump and calls over here on the market net flow. Tesla moving higher now. SPX trade, since it is 0 days to expiration, super wide stop loss, if any. Play at your own risk on it. It moves so volatilely that you would get stopped out pretty much instantly with a 25% stop loss. So just throwing that warning out there ahead of time. So Tesla is making a move up here. And looking to get this gap fill. And slowly pushing back down. So we need Apple to start acting right. It is a big weight in the indexes. SPX, SPY, QQQ, Apple's weight bears a lot on those. And as we can see, Apple is selling off here, and SPX is pretty much doing the exact same thing that Apple is doing. Tesla trade is back green. Slightly green for a second. Microsoft holding pretty well. Apple is not selling off that hard, so I'm a little confused on why SPX is. So Tesla, like I said, back green. We need to break over high of day here. Net flow, we still have calls above puts. But Tesla is really struggling at this level. Apple wicking back up. The buyers are pushing the price back up a little bit, but now it's coming back down. Today's just choppy overall. There's no follow through so far with any of these moves. Tesla is seriously in the middle of a gap down, or in the middle of a gap up area, and is just chilling. There has been no real drive from the bulls lately. No real drive. And we saw one the other day, but that was about it. Now Apple's falling more, pulling SPX and everything else down with it. I'm not exactly sure how to do that Blacktacular. I'm using OBS Streamlabs with normal latency. Everything rejecting here. SPX contract down huge. No stop loss on that. Already down 50%. Tesla is down 25%. Market makers are pushing the market down. I mean, right now we have the entire market's call flow still above the put flow, but yet the price drops. So this is not vindicative of, choices on trading. SPX pulling back exactly to the 61.8 retracement level. Then bouncing a little bit. But Apple is really what's pulling us down here. Microsoft seems to be holding up pretty well, all things considered. SPX just selling off hard here. And like I said, it's being pulled down by Apple. So just going to hold tight here. Just holding tight. I will definitely look up on how to do that Blacktacular on to see if I can figure out how to do what you're talking about. But I'm just using the built-in settings inside of OBS Streamlabs. Price bouncing back up now. Down pretty big on the small account today. Had that one green trade but didn't lock any profits. So greed get the best of you time and time again. Tesla is trying to hold this trend line here above the 5 EMA. But there's no real push from the bulls here. We need a push above high of day. There's just some really weird stuff going on here with the market net flow. I mean, calls spiking for the whole entire market, where puts are dropping off for the whole entire market. It's just all over the place this morning. Nice spike back here on Tesla. We need a break above high of day, a break out of this bull flag formation. Had that nice push up there. And then just no follow through. I mean, are the bulls asleep? Okay, there we go. There's our push. Tesla trade back green now. Hopefully we get this whole gap fill here. Looking for a gap fill up to about the 774 area. Up 5% on that contract. Needs to hold this level here. 7%. SPX coming back up as well. Nice bounce off the 78.6 retracement level. Tesla up 10%. $773 is about our gap closure, up 11%, 13%. %. SPX coming back as well. I have conviction to stay in this Tesla trade as long as the price action or the candle stays above the 5 and the 8 EMA here, and this trend line continues to try and hold. I'll be staying in this trade, and I would like to see a gap closure all the way up to the close of the gap. Looking at net flow again, calls starting going up, then they pull back down, but there is a bunch of put selling going on. Instead of puts being bought, puts are being sold. But when they both go in the same direction, it tends to lead to a choppy situation, like I said earlier. So we're going to redraw our fib here on Tesla. I'm going to draw it from the low of the day to the previous high. Excuse my language, but there's some fuckery going on right now. MM's just moving everything to their liking, like they always do. SPX, we're right back into the orb. SPY is in the orb. QQQ is briefly out of the orb, but just barely. Futures. Not really doing a whole lot here. So we need Tesla to push here so we don't double top out. We need to push over high of day. What's Baba doing? Baba seems to be closing that gap from pre-market sell-off. Come on, Elon, push it. Somebody push it. Come on, Tesla bulls. And it looks like we're going to double top here unless we get a nice push. We got about 2 minutes left on this, about 3 minutes left on this candle. Everything else just kind of consolidating in its orb, waiting for tomorrow for CPI. This price movement stinks. Need some kind of push here, bulls, or we're going to reject. Anybody else use TradingView? Sometimes I just don't like the fact that every time you set your charts and you click to a different chart and you come back, it doesn't save your layout and resets everything. Kind of annoying. Futures just consolidating. I mean, they were already open, but here is the first 5-minute candle on ES for the day. We're just sitting in the middle of it. In Q, first 5-minute candle, we are a little bit above. And that candle closed on Tesla. Looking like a double top situation in my opinion, because we have a big doji here followed by another tighter doji, which is a typical reversal candle or basically indecision if the candle closes like that. Just kind of sad on the bulls' behalf that they can't push the price higher. SPX trying to move higher here, but not really going anywhere. Nothing's really moving. I mean, we're just kind of sitting in a range here. Makes for a boring stream and a boring trading session. Microsoft's holding up relatively well. I will say that. It's got a nice flag formed here. Nice flagpole. Flag. We should see a break to the upside. Tesla trying to make a move higher now. Still can't get over high of day. We did break over high of day, just barely. But we're going to need a bigger push than that to get this train moving. A little bit higher there as well. That contract's up about 20%. But no real volume here. Oh, this movement makes me want to go to sleep. Anybody know any good places to get any copyright-free music that I can play as background noise every time I add any type of music to a stream, even if it says copyright-free, free to use, whatever, I get a copyright notice telling me that I have to remove the music or remove the video, or it won't be included underneath my viewers and stuff like that. So I've been trying to find some, but everything I find doesn't work. So we're up right around 21% on that one contract. There's our little breakthrough, 26, 27%. Looking for a full gap closure up here to about 773. Gonna check the bot for Tesla. We do have very bullish flow for Tesla. I'm going to post it to the Discord channel. So we're up 33% on that contract. Like I said, I'd like to see a push all the way to 773 gap close. SPX coming back around now. We're up 40% on that Tesla contract. So 40% right here. If you are still in that play, you want to lock in some profits, please feel free. Don't wait for me. Looking, like I said, for a close all the way up to 773 level. We're up 45% now. %, right at 49. Well, there we go, 50%. Looking for a push to 773, 775 area here in between your 61.8 and 78.6 extensions. So we tapped about 55%. SPX contract is coming back around. Looking for a break out of this ascending wedge to the upside here. So the 38.2 extension is 766.47, and we hit 766.64. That's pretty close. Looking for a full gap closure here on Tesla. Should be somewhere in about the 770 to 773 area. SPX not holding on to crap on its gains. You know, when one ticker moves like this, it's hard for it to maintain momentum, whether it's moving up and it's bullish or moving down and it's bearish, if the rest of the market doesn't want to cooperate. So even though Tesla has a very nice trend up and is moving up, the rest of the market itself, I mean, Apple has no momentum. It's just stuck in its range. First 5-minute candle, we're in the middle of the orb. SPY, we're still in the orb. QQQ, we are above the orb and at the 200 MA resistance here. That's probably why Tesla is struggling. QQQ needs to get above the 200 MA. Tesla trying to move a little higher here. High of the day is 766.64. I really don't like that number, as it's got, you know. Anyway, if you just joined the Discord today, I have applied the OG's role to your account. Please make sure you can see all the channels, and please utilize, make yourself aware and learn how to use the Tradie Tick bots and exactly what they do and what information you can get out of them. Because with as many members as we have, they are very rarely getting used except by a couple people. Please, if you are an active trader, learn how to use them. They can provide a lot of great information. Excuse me. So we need a push on Tesla here above the high of day again, or we could see a double top. Price is still above the 5 EMA, your green line here. Do have a double top going on here. The major holdup, I believe, why we're not moving higher is because QQQ is struggling to get over the 200 MA on the 5 minute. Currently building a inside bar. The summer months are awful slow when it comes to trading. There's no volume. It's like everybody that would typically be trading right now is already on vacation, sipping margaritas somewhere on some beach in Mexico. That's honestly where we all need to be. Rather boring price action so far today. We need ES, the S&P 500 futures, to get over the 200 MA. That's what we need to see, and then we should have a nice move in the rest of everything else. Tesla pull back to the 5 EMA. Let's see if we bounce or if we flush out. Because you could look at this two different ways right now. It's all about perspective. Somebody sees it one way and somebody sees it something else. It's a psychological. So if we switch over here to the 10 minute, we can see that we have a flagpole and a flag. Right? But if we come back over here to the 5 minute, I mean, technically we also have a flagpole and a flag, but we also have a double top. So on the 5 minute, you've got a double top, whereas on the 10 minute, you do not. So Tesla bulls not in control enough, it looks like, to break over 766.60 area. I really don't like that number. The rest of the market just kinda in the same area exactly where we opened. So everything is pretty much in its orb. QQQ cannot get over the 200 MA here. So Tesla looked to have about the best momentum out of anything. AMD selling off. Apple. Microsoft still trucking away here. Nvidia's moving okay as well. But as the most part, everything else is just rather garbage, and there's that hard rejection on Tesla. Right now, bouncing off the 8 EMA, that blue line. This price action is just sad. Hard rejection on SPX there. But yet we're still pretty much right inside these orbs. And not really moving. Tesla holding the 8 EMA for now. Still didn't get the full gap closure we were looking for. I mean, from a standpoint, it does look like the market's pretty much waiting for something, which that something is the CPI tomorrow. Everything except Microsoft is garbage today. I mean, Tesla, we did have a nice little move there, but now the bulls can't hold on to anything. So we're just kind of bouncing around right this second. Tesla needs to hold this 8 EMA though. Baba may be setting up for a nice downside play here. The 110 puts expiring tomorrow on Baba have a 11,725 open interest. That would be about a $4 drop. with Apple being weak like it is, that's why the whole market is weak. That's pretty much your support there. Anytime we break this support level at 146.50 area, we wick back up. Now Tesla looks to be definitely losing its momentum as well. It was about the only mega cap really doing okay so far. I mean, you do have Microsoft, which is a little bit green, but it is now selling off. Nvda is a little bit green, selling off. AMD is a little bit green, but also selling off. So, as of right now, not looking too hot. And the big rejection here is that, you know, QQQ stuck at this 200 MA here underneath this white line. And if we can't have one mega cap rallying, you know, pulling the price action up, the rest don't typically seem to follow. Let's see what Baba's doing. Baba is currently holding support, but looks like it's moving down now with the rest of the market. Tesla, hard rejection there. Not liking any of this price action across the board. I'm probably going to cut the stream just because this doesn't make for a very good trading day, our stream. And I'm rather bored, and if I'm bored, I know you guys are bored. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, join the Discord, which is still free for now. I do daily callouts, and we do have the TradyTix Discord bots as well. The link is in the description for this video. Y'all have a good